Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had a chance to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, hit subscribe and please don't forget to like and share. Independence is something that we all want in our lives. Even as a child, we're waiting for that day that we get to walk to school by ourselves. Mom has walked us to school every day, or a big brother or sister, making sure we get there on time. We know the route, but we want to do it by ourselves. So even from a young age, we're striving for that independence. And independence really, truly is doing something on our own without support, help, or control. But it doesn't stop there. In our life, there's so many things that we want to accomplish independently. We want to move out on our own, live by ourselves, and show that we can make it in the world by ourselves. It could be that we want to ensure that we're independent when it comes to a relationship. You know, when a couple gets together, they tend to be a partnership. It's a couple. But many people want that independence still. So not that they're not happy about being part of a couple, but they still want to be known as an independent person. So whether that's their work, their pastime, like hobbies, they want to have some component of their life that they're independent with. That also brings balance to a relationship as well, because if you spend too much time together, then it can get cumbersome. And I'm sure we all are learning that with COVID-19. Independence, when you look at it as a whole, also talks about larger things. It could talk about countries. It could talk about independent companies. When you think about even politics, there's an independent party. You know, people can run independently. They don't have to be associated with a party. When you talk about independence for people with disabilities, this is something that we all strive for. But it's different. So the terminology independence is a little bit different for the disability community. So we may still need help and support from organizations or others, but independence is also known about making choices for ourselves. So even if somebody needs a personal support worker to help them be independent and live independently, they get to make the choice of who they hire to help them, what time they schedule those people to come and help them, and they also make the choices of what they want to eat, stuff like that. So independence is still there, and choices also pertain to their health and their well-being, programs or work that they want to try to acquire. Again, we still may need help doing certain things because of our disability, but independence is key, and we all deserve to have it, and we can with accommodations to it. So I love my independence. I love coming and going as I can. It's kind of been put a damper on with COVID-19, but I can't jump in the car anymore and drive to the store or go visit a friend. But I've had to think outside the box about what else will work to keep my independence up. And that's where I've slotted in accessible transportation. So I can book a ride to go to the mall or go grocery shopping or whatever it is that I need to do for myself and still be independent. Independence sometimes takes practice and takes time to really work on. So it may not happen overnight. As I mentioned, as a child, we have to work slowly up to that point of getting there. But it's the same with all aspects of our lives. And as an individual with disability, our choices will continue to be there, and we have to be able to advocate for ourselves to ensure that our independence is respected, because people sometimes think they know what's better for us. Oh, no, you need to live with somebody because you can't be by yourself, or you need to have this, or you need to shower at this time. The reality is, no, we have the right to be independent. As long as we're safe and we're making good choices, then that's a good thing. The independence needs to be respected. And in fact, in the world of disability, there's been a lot of times where people with disabilities have gone to court for their right to independence. Some people feel that some individuals are not cognitively able to make decisions for independence, to make those choices. But that's a whole other show, so we'll get to that another time. But independence is important in all stages of our lives. It's a stepping stone, it's growing, it's learning, and it's being able to speak up for ourselves. Just think about countries that were part of another colony in their life. Even Canada, it was, a colony of England, and for years, and then all of a sudden they got to the point where they wanted to be independent. And it takes time and lots of work to get there. So we may want to be independent like that overnight. It doesn't work that way. We have to put in the work to be able to be granted that sense of independence. We have to prove to others around us, especially our friends and family, that we can do it. I remember wanting to move out on my own after the stroke. Oh my gosh, that was like a nightmare for my family. But I had to show them that this was something I needed. And it was definitely time. If I hadn't regained that independence, I probably still would be stuck living with my family. It's good for people to encourage independence amongst their kids. Show them the way. You raise them to be good people. You raise them to be independent. But if you're doing everything for them all the time, they'll never be independent. If you're making those calls to the doctors, or if you're calling school because they're not going all the time as adults or as teenagers, you're showing them and you're enabling them to be dependent. This is a problem for you later in life when they still live at home with you. You want to encourage everybody with independence, people with disabilities, people at work. You're always asked, can you work independently, or are you a team player? Can you do both? You're going to be more versatile if you can do both. Showing your independence is important, but also being realistic. There's some things that we just can't do by ourselves. We need help. We need support from a team or another person. And that doesn't make us weak. It just means that there's areas that we have identified that maybe we can't do things independently. As I mentioned, that whole driving thing, I can't drive. So I need that help. And that's okay. I made that choice, so therefore I'm still independent. I call and book my own rides. I call and cancel them if I have to. That is what independence is about. What is independence like for you in your life? Do you encourage independence amongst your children or your friends and family, or even at work? Or do you like when people are dependent on you? Does that make you feel needed and wanted? Are you doing them a service or a disservice? I know each and every person with disabilities wants to fight all the time for their independence. So that question is common, and it's very much about what Connect for Life, my charity, stands for, is to encourage independence, because it's unique to everybody. It's about making those choices, about having a say, about ensuring that your goals and your thoughts are being heard, and that you're safe. Obviously, that's the main thing. If you can't be independent and be safe, we need to think outside the box and find a way to make that happen. When you look at our seniors as they age and they want to stay in their home because they don't want to give up their independence, we have to look at the safety factor. We have to make sure the house is safe, that they're not going to fall and hurt themselves, that they're not going to leave the stove on, those sort of things. There are many measures in place. It could be something as simple as having help stay in the house, having somebody come in and help with caregiving, making sure that they have somebody checking in on them, or possibly encouraging them to move to a residential place, not necessarily a nursing home, but maybe a seniors facility where they can still have their independence in their own apartment, but have support on site if they need that. It's a choice, so you do want them to be part of the decision making and not take it away from them, because when you take independence away from somebody, you're disrespecting them and you're disrespecting their value. And that's something you don't want to do to a child, an adult, a senior, or even somebody with a disability, because you wouldn't want your independence taken away from you, would you? How do you look at independence in your life? Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion about this. I'd love to hear your comments below the video, and it gives me some more ideas to topics you want me to talk about. So please put some thought in it. Any ideas or suggestions for future videos, I'm open to. The more that I grow the channel, the more people we can help, the better it is for everybody. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share, and I'll catch you next time.